Coop, if you need to hit the, if you're on your phone, if you need to hit the mute button, press your screen, and you'll see it. It'll come up. You'll see the
All right. You tell me I'm making
phone.
too much noise.
It's just in case you need to, mute, cough, anything could happen. Your wife could come in the background. We just give people
Oh
a
no,
heads
she
up.
know I'm recording and she watching Bob's. We straight.
All right. So in three, two, one. Welcome to episode 153 of the Wrasslecast. I'm your host, Don Delarente. I'm joined as always by my SmackDown Matters correspondent, Miss Dee Dee Jonay.
Hey, friend.
Hey, friend, how are you?
I'm good.
All right, all right. We are joined tonight by a special guest from Twitter. You can follow him at Koopa underscore Kente. What's up, Koopa? How you doing, man?
What's up? What's up? What's up? I'm a celebrity now. I'm famous now, so you got to refer to me as Your Royal Highness Cooper Kente HNIC RNS. You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm playing. I'm playing. Nah, I'm good though. I'm good. Oh, where's my wine? I forgot it.
um, Man, we are so glad to have you here tonight on the
Nah, I
WrestleCast.
appreciate it.
Join us.
Been waiting to get on for a while, so glad to be here.
Oh man, thank you for coming. Just to let everybody know that you can follow the Wrasslecast on Twitter at the Wrasslecast. You can follow me on Twitter at Don Delarente, and you can follow Didi Jonay on Twitter at Didi Jonay. The Wrasslecast is presented by CSPN. You can find us at cspn.us. You can also find us on the Wrasslecast.tumblr.com. We're also on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, and Stitcher Radio. So, Koopa, since this is your first time on the show, as with all first time guests, we like to get their origin story, kind of the reason they started watching wrestling, who got them into watching wrestling, who are some of your faves growing up, what keeps you watching, and some of your current faves.
Well, I don't know exactly when I started wrestling. I think my earliest memories might be 89, maybe 90. Um, I remember I did go to like a house show in Tampa at the USF Sundome. My mom took me there, but I was already pretty much into it then. I was probably like 7 or 8 when that happened. My faves back then, well, now and forever, Sting, but old Sting, not Crow Sting, not the old Sting, but previous Sting. Taker, Brett, those guys. I wasn't really a fan of like the super heavyweights or Hulk Hogan. Savage was, that was my dude back then. But I don't know. I've just always been into it. The storytelling of it. I wanted to wrestle when I was younger. I don't know who didn't though. And yeah, I took a break from wrestling probably around 2002. So I pretty much missed the majority of like the rise of John Cena and the Randy Orton era. I missed like pretty much all of that. I didn't really start back watching wrestling again until maybe 2014. So, and here I am. Oh, my faves now. This might be unpopular opinion, but I'm gonna go Roman. Uh, Roman, Trap Usos, New Day, Finn, Shinsuke, the popular ones.
The ethnics.
Well, yeah, and that too. Everybody but Finn.
Oh, he's ethnic.
Mm,
Irish counts occasionally.
well, I guess since my government is Irish, then I'll say yeah. I'll rock with
See?
that.
There you go.
All
But
right.
yeah.
Well, it's very cool to have you here. Like we said, I was a really big fan of the Surfer Boy Sting myself. I was hoping
Mm.
and praying on the last Nitro that he would come out with the WCW colors, the gold and the blue and the blonde hair just one more
Yeah.
time, but didn't happen.
Yeah. I mean, I I kind of I kind of dug the Wolfpack Sting. Um, just because I really hated the NWO, like the original, the black and white NWO. I really hated that faction and how it grew and how everybody was in the NWO, and then the Wolfpack kind of got convoluted as well. But the Nash, Sting, Conan, Wolfpack. That was my clique.
All right. All right. Well, we're going to shift over to some news. We've got two quick news articles. First off, on Tuesday, Jeff Hardy has surgery on his torn rotator cuff. So he's going to be out of action for a significant amount of time. Hopefully,
Mm.
once they get in there, it's just a rotator cuff. They don't have to do anything else once they get in there. But you never know. It could be, depending on how long, he's kind of had this injury. It may be more severe, uh, once they get inside. So, yeah, he'll probably be out until like May, you know, uh, with this recovery and rehab before he gets cleared. So, I'm more than likely going to miss WrestleMania, which will be unfortunate for him. And in our second bit of news, the WWE, as reported by the Young Bucks, has sent a cease and desist order to them for using the too sweet gesture.
Now, me and you were getting into that earlier. I didn't think that they could trademark a gesture, and I don't know. Did they send a cease and desist to Finn and Anderson and Gallows when they were using that in Japan, or is this just
It, it,
Vince? Did he really send it? Because you said according to the Young Bucks, so this could just be the Young Bucks spreading some stuff.
it could be rumor mill. Um, I think what it may come down to is the Young Bucks have that Hot Topic deal,
Uh-huh.
and it was just reported that Hot Topic has sold over 100,000 um, you know Bullet Club Young Bucks merchandise. So
Okay. Okay.
maybe it's just something that he's seeing the success that's happening with their merch sales, and he's trying to make sure that they don't try to exploit that onto a T-shirt or put it
Oh.
up in
Oh
Hot
yeah.
Topic.
All right. I
Um,
see that.
I heard, unless something has changed, I thought that the North Carolina State Wolfpack kind of had the trademark on because that's their Wolfpack actual signature. They do that little thing to symbolize a wolf. So, and I know they have a lot of clothing with the hand gesture actually on it. So I don't know if they have a trademark in for that as well. So it's just very interesting. This is basically direct blowback from uh, the Bullet Club showing up in
Yeah.
Ontario, California this past Monday night outside of Raw. They were talking about they were trying to invade, but they were basically just out in the parking lot, just capitalizing on their popularity. They had done a Hot Topic meet and greet earlier in the day, and they just kind of shifted the party over to the parking lot outside of the arena where Raw was being held. So it was a cool scene. It definitely had the internet talking on Monday night. What if this happened or what if that happened? So
And that
haven't
was
really.
definitely Cody and Brandy trying to stick it to him as well.
Right. Haven't heard kind of what the WWE reaction from the inside of their of the arena was, but I'll be really interested to see kind of what they thought about it. Um, they said the Young Bucks said that they were there to free their friends. Of course, they're talking about Luke Gallows, Carl Anderson, and Finn Balor. So that was pretty cool.
I can't wait for them to pull the trigger on that. I don't know what Vince is waiting for with this Balor Club stuff because he's been a Balor Club of one since he got there, and I know he was injured and he's been out for a while, but I don't recall because I don't watch much of NXT. But did he even have a Balor Club in NXT? Like, was there a stable there?
No, just
Okay, so
himself.
they just been partners in the wind doing too sweet every chance they get, but there's no stable, there's no faction, and I'm waiting for them to pull the trigger on that because we need some stables on Raw right now. What we have is the Miz Taraj and the pending Shield reunion.
Right. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see when Vince finally gets the wherewithal to use the Good Brothers in that role as the backup and the muscle for Finn. It'll probably take a heel turn before it'll actually happen. So it may be a year or two away. So, of course, this past weekend on Sunday, we had No Mercy. Hashtag a lot of mercy cast. Thank you for everybody who joined us in the live tweets, who retweeted and shared their commentary with color. So, to start off, of course, we always have the hashtag say no to pre shows. We had Elias Sampson versus Apollo Crews. Elias runs Apollo's Crews into the turnbuckle, then he gives Apollo the drift away, and Elias Sampson gets another victory. DD, I know that this was one of your Baywatch matches, as you
Well,
you like
it would
Elias.
have been had it not been on the pre-show.
Oh yeah, that's
Alas.
right. I can't
Oh,
get
so
any. I can't.
you're a classist.
Where do you think the hashtag came from?
I
I'm
mean, I know that, but I'm just
it
saying, as
me.
far as your Baywatch goes,
Listen, I love all the bays, but if you're not good enough to make it to the main show, you're just not good enough for my eyes. I'm so sorry.
I'll
Did you get
keep
a
that in
chance?
mind.
Did you peep this one out, Koopa? Did you get a chance to watch this?
Yeah, no, I told you pay per views. I'm in there for the 5 to 7 hours. So I was in there. I wasn't. I'm not extremely invested in anything that they do with Apollo Crews or Elias right now, but I saw it. I mean, I could see some potential there. They look like they're trying to get Titus back into the ring and maybe have him work a program with Elias. So, and we'll see how that goes. I mean, I wasn't a great fan of Titus's in ring ability when he was actually wrestling. I like him as a valet. Um, but maybe instead of him actually getting into the ring, maybe he just does a little interfering on Apollo's behalf, and maybe we can get some personality out of Apollo with the possible tweener slash heel turn.
Yeah, yeah. I'm thinking the same thing. A heel turn, whatever charisma he's got, that would be the thing to bring it out of Apollo Crews. So now we'll get the hit the pyro, and we will go into the main show. Hashtag a lot of mercy cast.
Was there
As the
pyro?
Yes, pyro. As as the Miz faced off with Jason Jordan. It's actually good to see the Miz defend his IC title in front of a full crowd this time, as the last time we saw him
Shade.
defend that title, there was nobody in the crowd. Jason Jordan goes for a roll up, but the ref was distracted.
Oh,
Miz Miz kicks out, and then Jason Jordan runs into a right hand from Curtis Axel. Jordan then falls victim to the skull crushing finale, and the Miz retains the IC title. After the match, Jason Jordan is having an in-ring promo with Renee Young where he asks for a rematch. So one thing tells me they're really trying to get Jason Jordan like over, because when do losers get in-ring interviews for one? So that was
And
kind of odd to me.
I think it plays into the nepotism thing, though. He was a loser that got an in ring uh, promo because of the perceived nepotism from his father, Kurt.
Okay, okay. Uh, Didi, anything you like to add to this match? Did you like Bo Dallas's attire?
he's looking extra biracial. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's nice.
he's spending a lot of time in a tanning bed, or he's
He's
putting
embracing his chocolatiness.
putting 2 or 3 coats of that spray tan on.
It's not spray tan, it's blackness.
Okay. Speaking of Bo Dallas, his brother, the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt.
The
Oh,
eater of other things
I
too.
was thinking that, and I was like, that is so. Ooh, I don't know why I thought you were about to say JoJo's Cakes, and I was like, that is so
I
bad.
mean, she got a world back there, so
Oh gosh. I don't know why my mind went right there, and I was like, "No, don't." I don't know why I thought you were
I
gonna say
think because we all make the joke in the in the Raw cast whenever Bray comes out. It's just natural now. But he was
Oh,
facing man on man Finn Balor, not the Demon King this time. And Finn is victorious. He hits Bray with 2 shotgun drop kicks, and then he hits him with the ultimate Kevin Sullivan foot stomp, and he gets the win. So hopefully this program is over because, as always, Bray Wyatt doesn't win. It's disappointing. It's the reason why I didn't win. Who you got? This match right here.
Well, Bray had a little steam these last couple of months into the summer. Didn't he win his program with Seth when they had a little program? Or who was it? It was somebody. He won his pro. He had won a couple of pay-per-views. So he
Yeah,
had a little momentum, and then they put him in this program with Finn, and I mean, they haven't really done. I know they're still trying to work Finn, and then Braun emerged, and so he kind of got lost in the shuffle. But I I really want them to do something with either both of them, not together, but they need to do something with them because both of those guys, they need more than what they're getting.
it's time for Bray Wyatt to turn into a babyface. It's time. It's time to give him something to get a little something different. And I think he would actually hit a home run if he went to being more of a babyface. Next, we get the Raw Tag Team Title match as we had Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins versus The Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro. Let's give a shout out to the real MVP, Cesaro. Took a monkey flip from Dean. It took a catapult from Dean Ambrose into the supposed to have been the turnbuckle, but he overshot the turnbuckle and his mouth hit the post and jammed his teeth up into his gums, chipped his teeth and jammed them up into his gums. It looked like they knocked his teeth out, but no, they were pushed up into his gums.
3 to 4 centimeters.
uh,
I mean millimeters. 3 to 4 millimeters. That's a lot
it's
in
all awful.
tooth length.
Oh, ooh,
And yeah, so needless to
ooh.
say, he was, bleeding from the mouth, but he didn't stop. The show must go on, and he continued the match, wrestled all the way through. Sheamus catches Cesaro with the bro kick by accident, which leads to Rollins hitting Sheamus with the Snowmaker. Dean Ambrose finishes off Sheamus with the Dirty Deeds, and Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins retain their Raw Tag
Wait a
Team
second.
titles.
Wait a second.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that what that move is actually called?
No, that's what I call it. I call it the Snowmaker. It's called the King's Landing, I think is what he gave it the name this week.
Oh, okay. So he's Jamie Lannister, Kingslayer, King's Landing. Okay, I got it.
No, I
He's
call it
he's
this. I call it the Snowmaker because it's everything that the Rainmaker is, except for it's not a clothesline, it's a knee.
okay. All right. Okay. So he's going full Jamie Lannister on this. All right. Cool.
Definitely the second best match of the night on this card. I mean, they put it. They really get down. They have really good chemistry. Sheamus and Cesaro has really, turned into a really great tag team.
Yeah, they
Um,
work.
and is like I said, Cesaro is the real MVP. I mean, this man sacrificed his grill to put on an excellent match, and Seth and Dean were okay too.
Um, I I just did not like the ending. I think it's because I don't like Dean Ambrose, but it's just the Dirty D's. Really, after all we've been through, that's the thing that nobody could overcome. A damn Dirty D's.
I think we're going to get into a conversation about finishers by the end of this podcast because there was a lot of that. Like, really, they couldn't get up from that. Really,
That was
there
my
was a
whole
lot of that
complaint
all
the
night.
whole night. The whole match should be real epic, and then it's just like, well, we're tired. That'll work.
Right.
That'll do.
You kicked out of 12 of my finishers, but we're gonna do this one finisher, and that's gonna be it.
Yeah, man. Stressful. Whew. Could not get up from that. That's so
Right.
annoying. But anyway.
Our next match was for the Raw Women's title, as we had the champion Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax versus Emma versus Bayley versus Sasha Banks. Alexa runs Bayley into Emma, then Alexa gives Bayley the DDT, and Alexa Bliss retains the Raw Women's title.
Even that was a shenanigan, but that's okay.
Boo.
Whatever.
First of all, I should know better by now.
I asked
Second,
you, were you sure?
it's the
I
second
asked
time,
you.
second time that we've played Who You Got. and
And the
I've gone.
second time you turned your back on your boo.
Yes, and I went against my better judgment and picked somebody besides Alexa
And it's
Bliss.
the second time I asked you, were you sure? Because I know how you feel about her. And every time you turn your back on your vanilla princess.
Yeah,
Mm-mm-mm.
and she came through again. She's the best at playing just getting by. And it works so good. And then she gets on the mic and talks real big, and everybody's like, "But you barely won, though." So I love it
I
from that point of view.
I didn't have look thinking about it now. I don't have as big a problem with her winning. Um,
No,
everybody wanted Nia to win, but I'd prefer Nia take the strap off of Asuka. Like I prefer Nia be the one to end that streak. So I'd prefer that Asuka takes it off of Alexa. I was thinking short term when oh my God, Nia needs to win this strap now. But long term, I think it's better if she's the one that beats Asuka.
um, yeah, I don't mind any of that. I just, again, I don't like the finisher. She could have won. I don't care about that. I just that finisher, just that one thing after
It's the
everything, it's so annoying.
it's the DDT, as
It's
Jake
just a
Roberts.
DDT.
Now see, that's where you're wrong. As
No,
Jake
I'm
Roberts was,
not.
as
Listen,
the
I
promo
have.
famous. Go ahead,
Go ahead. No, you go ahead. Go ahead.
ladies first. I'm a
No, no,
gentleman.
no, because I want you to tell us about this as Jake the Snake Roberts said. What he said.
Oh, and the famous promo where the guy asked the Snake Roberts, "Hey, what does the DDT mean?" He smirks and goes, "The DDT? That means the end."
That's not even those letters
But
don't even do that. No. My thing is you gave me 20 years, let's say, of the DDT just being like a 2 count kind of thing. It's like when Sammy does the blue thunder bomb and nothing happens. Nothing's ever gonna happen because nothing ever happens. So you can't then just magically, because Alexa Bliss of the 5'0" decides that now a DDT is a finisher, it be a finisher. It ain't ever been a finisher for anybody that I saw for the last 20 years, because Jake the Snake was in the early 80s or the late
Well,
well, I mean, the
70s.
Dirty Deeds is a
And
DDT.
I think it's bullshit too.
Well, I
See,
mean, it is.
this is
So
why
damn, I'm
it's
out of
their
wine.
fault.
this is
See,
the
you got to
this is the
refill. You got to have it with
No,
you.
that was the end of the bottle.
Oh, that's piss poor planning, friend. You'll learn better on your next
Now I
time.
gotta. No, well, no. I mean,
You have another
I
bottle.
haven't been
Okay, great.
drinking. I haven't been drinking the wine lately, so I didn't really know how much I
Oh no,
had. Now
that's
I gotta.
fine. As long as you have a backup bottle.
Now I gotta make
Do you have a
some
backup
Crown.
bottle? Ooh,
No,
ooh,
no,
crown.
no, and I don't have any. I'm gonna make some berry punch
Okay.
with some Kettle
Uh huh.
One vodka in it.
Go on. I like this combination.
Okay,
Anyway,
yeah.
we digress because drinks matter. No, I'm just saying that DDTs aren't finishing moves for me, which is why I don't believe in the dirty deeds. And it's why I don't believe in one DDT, maybe two, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. Just not that way. It doesn't sit right with me.
then WWE has. That's why Steve Austin, I'm with you with all the things you've ever said. They bastardized DDT to
Yep.
where DD don't even think it's a plausible finishing move anymore, and
We've had this
that
conversation before. They
and that
ruined
is
it.
just sacrilege to me. That is just like
It's
the Bailey to belly when people complain about that. It's like,
That's not a finishing move either. I'm
Well,
so
they see
sorry. It's
they've done the
not.
same thing with the super kicks because I mean the
Yeah.
Usos, Tamina, they all do super kicks now, and
Yeah,
those aren't their finishers
that's
anymore.
the
Like that,
problem. Not even just in like big WrestleMania matches. In your regular Raw and SmackDown
yeah,
matches, you have people kicking out of a kick straight to the ear. Why? How? And if you can kick out of that, you're gonna kick out of a Bailey to belly. And if you're not, that means your world doesn't make logical sense. So these are the rules that you set. You set the rules. So
yeah,
DDTs are not finishing moves anymore. You did it, not me.
well, it is when Alexa Bliss is the champion and she's still got the belt, so you'll just have to learn to accept it.
Don't try to brag on her. You didn't even pick her for who you got.
That's another reason why I lost as well. Uh, Next, we had John Cena versus Roman Reigns.
Match of
Basic,
the night.
the crowd basically chose John Cena sucked a little bit less than Roman did, so John Cena got the crowd support.
And the fans got
Um,
what they got. Because you
yeah,
never picked John.
it was a it's a strange match, especially kind of started like real slow,
And
like
him walking away. Like, oh
right.
no.
He was kind of like stalling a little bit, where it should have been like Roman should have just went in there trying to be, straight after his ass, like, hey, you've been talking all this smack. Now it's time to put up.
That was
And
the part that I didn't understand. When John left, first of all, why did John leave? But when John left, why did Roman go get him? Because what? Again, this is just me being petty. What I would have done was grab the microphone and been like, "You see your fave running away, yes? You saw that,
Well,
right? I want to run
well,
after him. Run after him for
John was
what?
playing up the crowd with the when they started with the John Cena sucks, and he was like, "Oh, so I suck? Okay, then. Well, I'm out." And I mean, I get your point. Like, come on,
Oh,
man.
is that why he left?
Yeah, he was playing up the crowd. The crowd was
Oh.
doing the John Cena sucks, and he was like, "Oh, so I suck? Okay, well then I'm out." And so,
Even that doesn't make sense because for years
I
he's been like, "I what? I suck." Yeah, it just gives me like
yeah, no, he
it's
was just
weird.
doing his thing, and
That's weird.
yeah, but I think they did a really good job of making Roman look as dominant as he's looked since the Shield broke up in the early part of the match, which is like his slow, methodical beatdown of
Yeah,
Cena, because he dominated Cena for the first half, maybe even 3/4 of the match, and then it was
yeah.
kind of like one of those games, uh, almost an Atlanta Falcons of the Super Bowl where he dominated it and then almost gave it up at the end, but he actually
Yeah,
salvaged it
yeah.
uh,
There was
after
that Super Cena moment. Like, oh,
like
okay.
37 AAs.
yeah,
I loved it.
we got
I
the birth
loved
of
it.
Super Roman in this match as Roman kicks out of the double AA. He kicks out of the then he kicked out of the Avalanche AA. And of course, John Cena, he got out of the STFU, and John Cena was basically he didn't have nothing left, and he got caught in one of these moments where he's trying to contemplate like, what the hell else am I going to do? As Roman hits him with the Superman punch, then gives him the spear, and Roman Reigns is your winner.
But again, it was
Um,
only one in ring spear. Like he did the spear on the table, but then John hit him with like four more AAs after that, and then he gives him one more spear, and that's it.
Well,
yeah, that's
again,
it. Because you're an old man. You know what I found out about John Cena, and probably everybody else already knew that, but I didn't know that. Did y'all know he has a trailer and he don't be in the locker room at all?
oh yeah, he's got a bus. Uh
Yeah,
huh.
He's
bus.
in the bus, and I was like,
Yeah,
"What kind of
Roman mentioned the
bitch
bus,
made
but yeah,
shit is this?
that's
You too good to be in the locker room while you acting like you some kind of senior statesman?
and
Kane
and
ain't ever
and
be on a bus."
and Roman talked that about him on the mic. Well, that night that John wasn't there, about how well no, he did the first time how John's on the bus and
I missed
everything else, but
that. I
John
really missed
talked
that because
all that about Rocky
that's
in his separate
crazy.
dressing room and everything else, and
Right.
he
The
got a bus.
nerve. A whole bus. Not even like I don't want to be in the same room with you. Like I want to be 300 yards from you all. But only reason why I know that because I didn't hear it when Roman did it. I was listening to your favorite podcast, favorite wrestling podcast, and Cody mentioned it, and I was like, he's got his own bus. Kind of fucking weirdo has their own bus.
The weirdo that can
The
afford to put gas in it and have it
the
travel around the country
no
for him.
That's so trash.
the kind that wants to marry somebody but doesn't want them to have power of attorney.
He don't want to marry that girl. He just want her to
The
shut the hell up.
the kind that made her sign a 75-page contract when they started dating. That's the kind.
The fact that Nikki was like, "Oh yeah, I'll sign your 75-page contract," instead of saying, "Can we go to counseling?" By we, I mean you, because something's clearly not right here. There's something wrong with you. Who even has 75 pages of thoughts? Like who? What? couldn't come up with 75 things I needed you to do if I was
Uh,
writing in
that was
72
the
font. Like, what do you, what?
that was the greatest. Who even having 75 pages of thoughts?
I'm serious. Was it like front and back? Like, what are we talking about right now? 75 pages? I
I don't
how
know.
much money did your first wife take from you? What?
Yeah, yeah, he's
I'm
definitely
confused.
scarred.
What did she do to him? I thought he did something wrong, but she must have done something awful.
She
Cause
got better
he's
lawyers than him.
well,
That's
sorry,
what she.
Charlie.
That's what she did.
Because he is like traumatized. But anyway, yeah. Fuck John Cena.
All right.
No shade. I don't like him. I don't like him.
He
He's
has
weird.
after Roman leaves, John Cena has a long moment in the ring, kind of soaking everything in. He said this was the same arena where he won his first WWE title and jumped in the crowd, so he was just kind of being reflective and milking the moment. So once Cena leaves, we go to the back. The Miz confronts Kurt Angle about having Roman Reigns be his guest on Miz TV on Monday Night Raw to ask the hard-hitting questions, and Kurt Angle agrees. Then we move into our cruiserweight title match as we have the king of the cruiserweights, Neville, versus Enzo. After Neville was dominating this match and doing anything he wanted with the less talented Enzo hits Neville with a low blow, rolls Neville up, gets the 1, 2, 3, and through heel tactics, Enzo Amore has his first ever championship in professional wrestling as he is your new cruiserweight champion.
That's a hell of a way to get buried. Like he got all of that heat and everything else got kicked down to 205 Live, which I called back in February. I said that they should put Enzo on that show just to give the show a little bit of a name recognition push. But yeah, that's a hell of a way to get buried and still get a strap put on you, your first strap ever.
Yeah, he's been humiliated and it gets even worse. Um, but he's still somehow failing
Yeah.
upward. So I mean, what can you say?
Enzo's the Lane Kiffin of WWE. He just that man fails into better jobs, and I don't get it. And that's Enzo.
You don't get it. Isn't Enzo Caucasian? Like what?
I mean, well, I know that, but like half,
It's
most of
what they
wrestling is Caucasian. They
no,
don't
but it's
all
what they
fail up.
do. I mean,
You know, I
you
told you.
know, Caucasian
Ne-
magic. I don't.
okay. Next up, the main event of the evening, as the monster among men, Braun Strowman, faced off against the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar, for the Universal title. After kicking out of the running power slam that leaves Strowman kind of in awe, Brock scoops up Braun in the F5, and Brock Lesnar gets the pin and retains the Universal title. Now, here's a match where people are like, oh, just one F5? That's all you need. See, here's where WWE has messed up y'all's minds. WrestleMania 17, up until then, you get hit with a Stone Cold Stunner, you're done. You get hit with the rock bottom, you're done. Didn't matter who you were, how big you were, how strong you were, whatever, you was done. Those two gentlemen wrestled each other, and it's the first time we'd ever seen somebody kick out of the Stone Cold Stunner, somebody kick out of the rock bottom. So it made that match that much greater because of the near falls. Well, all of somehow that just became the formula for every WWE match. Oh, you got to kick out of two finishers before people believe that you can get a finish. Now, when they trying to go back to, hey, you know what? These finishers are finishers, meaning you only need it once. DDT, one. F5, one. Spear, one. You don't need three or four of them to beat somebody because it's your finisher. So I think they're trying to put the emphasis back on the finishers being strong. It's just gonna take as long as it took for y'all to get conditioned that, oh, a DDT is not a finishing move anymore. It's gonna take just as much time for them that, one move over, one move over, one move over, one move over, before everybody gets it back into their mind that, oh, okay, when he hits the finisher, the match is gonna be over.
And I get that. But when you have in the same pay per view Roman kicking out of 12 AAs, and in the same match,
Ow.
Brock kicked out of all of Braun's running power slams, you kind of can't make that argument that they're trying to make finishers great again. Like,
Well, see, because Vince has his hands on everything. Roman is a special case. He's trying to build Roman up.
I know, I get that. I get that was the outlier, but still, and
Yeah,
that's like if it was two AAs, then I would have got it. But he kicked out of 35 AAs,
Super
like,
Roman. That you just
like
like I said, you saw the birth of Super Roman. So now you're gonna see that probably happen a lot more just for Roman Reigns though. And you might see for everybody else, they one and done. But Roman is a special case because, he's the investment. He's the future.
well, why couldn't they invest in some new music and some new clothes? Like they had the perfect opportunity to do all of that when he did that 30-day bid. They could have brought him back during that pay per view because he didn't win that match. So they could have brought him back with a new music, new gear. Could have tested it on the road show, the house shows that he did that week, and then boom. So when we get this Shield reunion, we can actually, the Shield music means something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting case here coming up. What looks like where we're headed towards TLC. So we'll jump into Monday Night Raw. Of course, the show starts off with Miz TV and Roman in the ring. Two men go back and forth, of course. A promo war. And Miz is lighting, Roman up. But Roman seems relaxed. He's got, he doesn't seem uptight. Seems a lot more him being himself. So, he didn't seem to get washed in this promo war. Seemed to kind of hold his own. But anyway, all the talking leads to a challenge. Roman says, he wants to fight The Miz tonight. The Miz was like, "Whoa, player! I just came out here to talk. We do no fighting. That ain't kind of what we want to do." So he leaves the ring with Axel and Bo Dallas, and of course, Kurt Angle comes down, and he makes a match later on the night between Roman and The Miz. Then Kurt also makes a match between Matt Hardy and Jason Jordan versus Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. And guess when it started? Right now. So we get Jason Jordan and Matt Hardy versus Bo Dallas and Kurt Axel. Jordan hits the shoulder block into the corner, then gives Axel an overhead belly to belly. Matt Hardy gives Bo Dallas a twist to fade, and Jason Jordan and Matt Hardy get the win. I am not a big fan of the Mr. Raj losing. I would like to see them actually win some matches because I think it
Same.
gives them more credibility to actually being, the Miz's henchmen. At least they're dangerous and capable. Right now, they don't seem dangerous or capable. So
Yeah,
they
they
need to
should have
kind of
won that.
give them some more wins here.
They need more work too, but they should have. They definitely need some credibility because they don't. Hell, they didn't have credibility as singles wrestlers. So you put them together as a team, and right now they have no credibility whatsoever.
Right, right. So we get Elias versus Apollo Crews again, a rematch from the pre-show, and we get the same outcome as Elias gets the win with the drift away. But in doing so, while he was down on the Apollo Crews had took the action down to the floor, Apollo Crews was getting the best of Elias, and out of desperation, Elias kicked Titus in the hamstring or the knee. And then, of course, to get back in the ring, Elias hits the drift away. And after the match, Titus O'Neil jumps in the ring and gives Elias Sampson some business. So it's the first time we've seen Titus get really physical in a long time. Um, so we don't know where this is going to lead, but maybe Titus O'Neil is going to stop being the manager and the guy in the suit at Titus Worldwide and then put the trunks back on. So we'll see where that leads.
Maybe,
Uh,
hopefully, Titus Worldwide, like the entire entity, goes heel.
maybe. So the legend at the bank, Kurt Hawkins, comes out. He says, "Tonight is the night. He's gonna end his losing streak." Then all of a sudden, Braun comes out. Kurt Hawkins tries to run away, but Braun runs and tracks him down through the crowd.
Curtis got hawked.
he Braun chokeslams Kurt Hawkins through a table. Then he throws him up by one arm up on the ramp. Then Braun gives Kurt Hawkins the running power slam through the whole LED board.
Vince ain't got no
And
money for pyro, but they got money to replace these LED boards every other week.
and now Kurt Hawkins maybe needed an emergency bacchiotomy as he was broken in half. So Braun comes down to the ring. He says he's not leaving until somebody comes out and gives him a real fight. DD's fave, the lunatic fringe, Dean Ambrose comes. He walks over the corpse that is Curtis Hawkins, looks at him, shakes his head like, damn, hate it had to be you, and he runs his ass down there to jump on Braun Strowman. Now, I know Dee Dee Jonay probably stood up and was disappointed and disgusted when she first saw Dean. But
Quite
then when she
disgusted.
realized that he was probably going to get the same treatment that Kurt Hawkins got or worse, I'm pretty sure you like started to perk up on the inside.
Imagine the Grinch gif with the
Yeah.
smile. That. Just that.
um, of course, Braun Strowman is just tossing Dean Ambrose all over the place. Dean is, trying to lunatic up and be the crazy Dean and come back for more and don't stay down. Dean gets a little bit of an upper hand going. He's building up some steam. He goes for the standing elbow drop off the top. He gets caught by Strowman in the running power slam, and Braun gets the win. So
Yay.
he didn't break him in half, but he at least beat him down for you pretty good.
It was hurtful. Just a little violent. That's all I needed.
Enzo's backstage. He walks up on Kurt Angle and he says that there needs to be a championship celebration for him winning the title last night. Kurt Angle agrees, and we will get that later on tonight. So now Seth and Dean are in the back, where Seth wants Dean to start taking less risks because his foolish actions now involve him because they're the tag team champions. Dean says that Seth needs to be less calculating and be more risky and, switch it up a little bit. Well, Seth says, okay, well, here's something that's risky. I'm going to face Braun Strowman next Monday night. But first,
Silly.
Can I just state how bad the tag team division is right now on Raw, to where you have the tag team champs doing squash matches against Braun Strowman, like not even as a tag team but individually, and they're the champs. Like, that's how shallow this tag team division is on Raw, and they just need everybody to be healthy. Um, they just need everybody to be healthy and get this tag team division strong again, because this is just like terrible. You're risking
yeah,
your champs because Seth knees. He's one more knee injury away from being Derrick Rose.
Oh.
So I don't know if he survives a match with Braun Strowman.
well, what happened to the Raw Tag Team division was the Revival not being able to stay healthy, the Hardy Boys, now not being able to stay healthy, the Good Brothers, nobody cares about them,
Boom. That's the
so
one.
so there's three or four possible tag teams that could have been in this mix, but circumstances have kind of dictated it where it's a real shallow pool right now. So they've just had some injuries and some guys not as over as they thought they would be. This kind of hindered them.
Good Brothers would
Um,
be over if they were in the Balor Club, but
the Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss comes down to cut a promo on her win last night. Alexa says that she's cleaned out the women's division. There's no more challengers for her to face. She's not afraid of Asuka either.
Oh,
That's when
that's a
Mickey.
lie.
That's when Mickey James comes out.
Whew.
Mickey and Alexa have a promo battle, in which Alexa calls Mickey James old, and Mickey slaps Alexa twice, then gives Alexa the chit kick. Alexa rolls out of the ring, skirts to the back, and Mickey James stands tall.
They ain't have no promo battle. Mickey was sassy. She was too spicy for the pepper on that mic.
She was like, tell them what you said about me.
Right.
Tell
She
them
was
what you
super
said.
ethnic. Super ethnic on that mic. And she had the yams out.
Yes, she's definitely what is it, the mascot for Thick Thighs Save Lives.
She had them out, boy. Them like that Vernon Davis, them yams. Sweet potato yams. That she had them things out, boy, and she was all on that mic. Spicy.
So that gives us our Seth Rollins versus Sheamus match. Rollins gets the win via the Snowmaker / King Slayer. Uh, he was being an asshole as Cesaro came out with Sheamus uh, back in the 007 suit, and Seth Rollins was mocking him, like pointing to his teeth, pointing to his mouth, just awful, just bad.
Rude, just mean.
All right.
Not nice at
We
all.
we have what we think is going to be a heartfelt moment as Finn and Goldust are backstage. As you know, Finn came and helped out Goldust a couple of weeks ago when Bray Wyatt was trying to take off his makeup. And so, they're having a little conversation, and Finn thinks everything's all good. And then Goldust rocked the snot box with a hard left and knocked Finn down and basically challenged him to a match later on tonight. So nobody saw that coming.
I did.
Oh, okay. Clairvoyancy over there.
I told you I'm magical. I told you I'm magical. When I saw them in the back, I was like, and then he was like, "Why you help me?" And I was like, "He sound like an angry black woman. You gonna hit him?" I knew it.
So we have Roman Reigns versus The Miz. Roman overcomes all the antics of the Miztourage to hit a Superman punch, and he gets the win. After the match, the Miztourage attacked Roman, and they beat him down not once, but twice, and had the crowd chanting for the Shield. Dean and Seth were nowhere to be found, and I think that the Miztourage might have actually got Roman's sympathy with the crowd
I don't
with
think
this,
it
with
was
this
sympathy
beatdown.
so much as the crowd was just
Disappointment.
they're ready for the reunion. Like they're ready for the full reunion. The wheels have been set in motion. The Miz brought up the Shield during Miz TV. They did the Shield pose. Dean and Seth are already together. Everybody sees the writing on the wall. I'm just glad that they didn't pull the trigger this early because I feel like they pulled the trigger on everything too early now, and I felt like they were gonna mess it up. But I hope they wait until TLC.
I think that's what's going to happen. We're still, about a month away from that, so we got a lot of story to get through before now and then. But yeah, definitely the writing's on the wall. So it'll be interesting to see how the crowd reacts to it because I mean, individually they don't like Roman, but collectively in the Shield, he's a fan fave. It's the most bipolar thing ever.
It's when he was in the Shield and didn't have to cut promos and just had to beat people up and wasn't getting the super mega, you're the chosen one push, then yeah, everybody loved him because who doesn't love the badass in every faction? And then they broke up and he got the super mega man push and everybody was like, "Oh, pump the brakes, buddy. Like, you were just a muscle. You ain't world champion. Get on the mic. We gonna pay to come see you every week. Material just yet. We gotta care about you. We don't care about you yet. So, and then the Daniel Bryan coming back when he did, that kind of messed that up. But I mean, I get it.
All
I'm
right.
down with Roman secretly. Secretly, I don't stand for him on Twitter, but I cheer for him.
So we get Finn Balor versus Goldust. Significant here, Didi, chime in here on the fashion cast. Did you like the cool gray that Finn had on, or was that on
Oh,
Monday? Or was that on the pay per view?
That
He
was
had
on
the
the pay
gray
per
on.
view.
the blue
Okay,
shorts, they were nice though.
they were
Hmm.
gray, but yeah, okay,
They were blue
blue,
gray. Don't do all
blue
that.
gray. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. There you go.
I'm
Mm-mm.
a woman. I know my colors.
So would you prefer him go to that rather than the black, or
No, actually, no. I like black better,
okay?
but the blue's a nice option. It's cute. It gives it a ooh, my 600-pound wife is on. Yeah, it gives it a different aesthetic. But with the leather jacket, the black hair, I need black trunks. But I don't mind the blue.
Okay. Well, Finn hits his three moves of doom: sling blade, shotgun dropkick, and the ultimate Kevin Sullivan foot stomp, and he gets the win over Goldust. As he's in the ring, the lights go down. Of course, everybody pulls out their cell phones, lights up the arena, and then you hear little kids singing, "I've got the whole world
Black kids.
in his hands. He's got the whole wide world in his hands." We don't see
I,
Bray, we just hear the singing, and
I
then we
just I
cut
just
to
want to
commercial.
note that those were little black kids singing
Okay.
that song. It
it did. It
matters.
did. It did sound
Ethnic.
little soulful.
Yeah.
Um,
Sounded like Louisiana. The
you
black
know,
pirates.
I'm
Hmm.
I'm I'm up on Finn, and it's mostly due to his entrance because in the ring, all he does is those missile drop kicks. Outside the ring, all he does is missile drop kicks. He'll throw in a sling blade, and then it's coup de grace. But all he does is kick people with both feet at the same time.
Because he's
And I
got feet
need
of fury.
I need him to do, but he kicks them with both at the same time. He just flies around the ring
Well,
kicking
he's
people,
little. He can't
and
kick on one foot. You got to get two. Put some power behind it.
but that's why I think they're like forcing him to be, a 190 pound universal champion, and it just is like, man, he really does not have the move set or the strength to be in the ring with these guys.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Vince didn't he doesn't really warm up to people who get injured. And I think he sees Finn the same way he sees Sasha. As I don't know why the crowd's so into him because they small and they can't stay healthy. So
Well,
speak
to be fair, Seth was ending everybody's career at that point in time. Like that was more of a Seth thing than it was a Finn thing.
Speaking of the Boss Bay, Sasha Banks and Bailey are backstage. They're lamenting on how close they were to winning the title at No Mercy, but of course they, came up short, and now they got to kind of get together, get back on the same page as they have a tag team match versus Naya and Emma. So we get to the match. Bailey gives Emma the belly to belly, and Sasha Banks and Bailey they get the win. So one time for Huggy Cakes and Boss Bay. Still waiting on the turn though. Every time I see them together, I'm just waiting for Sasha to just clock her in the back of the head. Maybe, maybe we'll get like during the match, they teased it. Bailey was going for a cover. Sasha stomped her in the stomach, pulled her off. Sasha had the bank statement. Then Bailey came in, gave her a drop kick to the face. Got her off. So they kind of had the little interplay there in the match. So maybe it's coming, and they both need it because man, did y'all hear how Sasha Banks ain't get no pop when she came out?
None. They're just like, oh, it's the chick who can't keep the strap on her. Great.
It was
You
it
know what I
was
did
upsetting.
notice on Snoop's little commercial for the game? They
Hmm.
took
Mhm.
out that line about Sasha Banks.
Well, I think that every commercial except for the one that they showed on No Mercy has been kind of the shorter version of it. The one on No Mercy was like the full length, like
Hmm.
minute and a half version.
Yeah, I just noticed
Yeah,
that some people made the cut and some didn't. That's all.
yeah, yeah.
That's all.
Yeah. I was the same way you're kind of waiting for that Sasha turn on Bailey. I was waiting for that with Nia and Alexa. Like I was waiting for that Diesel Shawn Michaels moment, and they didn't give it to us, and I'm a little disappointed in that.
Um, just Nia Jax is so confident right now. She's got the crowd behind her. The crowd is into what she's doing. She's really just, been more confident in ring. She's, being the big monster that we all thought that she could be, and I'm just happy to see it. I don't know
No,
what
I
has.
am too. Like I'm happy where she is right now. I just
Right.
that moment between them, I was kind of waiting for that, and they kind of just
It seems like they're slow playing a lot of the stuff in the
yeah.
women's division, so maybe that's a good thing that they're not giving us everything so fast right away. So, maybe this will lead up to something for like a Survivor Series or a bigger pay-per-view show where some of this stuff in the women's division will come to a head. Or TLC, excuse me, because Survivor Series is going to be, I don't know if it's going to be a joint one or not, but it should be. So, yeah, Survivor Series may be where we get kind of these bigger high profile turns and matches out of the women's division. So now we get to our main event segment, and this is the Enzo Amore Championship celebration. Um, he's out there, he's lamenting, how he won the title, how he's bringing, the juice to 205 Live. He's, out here got, making money off of all this merch, just being Enzo. The whole 205 live roster comes out on stage and they're just kind of looking at him and he starts cutting promos on those guys, running those guys down. And then, of course, Neville comes out. Neville and Enzo have a little promo battle which goes back and forth. Neville comes down to the ring and he wrecks Enzo while the rest of the division stood up on top of the ramp. During the interaction earlier with Kurt Angle, Enzo had a clause made that said, "Hey, if anybody touches me during my celebration, they can no longer get a title shot." So that goes for Neville, Lord Cedric Alexander, or Drew Gulak. So, in essence, Neville has rescinded his chance at a rematch against Enzo by coming down, beating the brakes off of him, giving him the red arrow, and leaving him for dead. So Monday Night Raw ends for us on television, but it was still going on in the arena and on WWE.com. As Enzo just takes the red arrow and he's laid out in the ring, and all the cruiserweights are, making their way down to the ring side. Braun Strowman's music hits. Braun runs down the ring, scoops up the carcass that is Enzo, punches him around a little bit. Then he does a lap around the ring, gives him the big power slam. The crowd is chanting, "One more time, one more time." Braun gets out of the ring and basically says to the whole cruiserweight division, "He's all yours." So all the members of the cruiserweight division jump in the ring, put Enzo in the middle of the circle, and they basically treat him like a human pinata. Everybody gets a hit. Then they start pulling out everybody's finisher on him. They airplane spin Brian Kendrick and Drew Gulak airplane spin him. Cedric Alexander gives him a lung blower. Grand Metalik, and someone, I think it might have been Noam Dar, gave him double super kicks. I mean, they just beat Enzo to death. I don't know why that didn't show up, why that wasn't the end of the show. But anyway, just beat the trash out of Enzo, left him laying in the middle of the ring, and the whole 205 division, you know, got their licks in on Enzo, and that was how Monday Night Raw ended. So did you see that ending part, that WWE.com part? Did you actually see
Nah,
that?
nah, I haven't seen it.
Oh yeah, you got to go back and watch that. They just treated that man so bad. Like Vince really don't like this man. So that was your Monday Night Raw. It was a pretty decent Monday Night Raw. That last hour was a little rough. Um, the I thought the Roman segment with the Miz, the talking part was real good. Alexa and Mickey James, that was a really good segment. The Roman and Miz match was actually a really good match, even with all the little interference from the Miz to Rise and whatnot. Um, Kurt Hawkins, that he did what he did, and he was very entertaining for getting his ass beat. So, there's a pretty good spots in this Monday Night Raw. Not a bad show.
I mean
Mhm.
the Roman Miz thing, and especially with the Miz Taraj doing the Shield thing after the beatdown, they could have rolled credits right there, and I would have been fine. I felt like that should have been we should have gone off. They should have gone off air with that imagery of the Miz Taraj doing the Shield fist bump over Roman's body, but that's just how I feel about it.
Right. Right. So that was Monday Night Raw. And now we'll turn it over to Didi Jonay because hash to the tag, SmackDown Matters.
That's right. That's right. This week's SmackDown comes from Glendale, Arizona, the Gila River Arena, because we just name any old thing arenas nowadays. So, the things they happen, Kevin Owens, Shane McMahon get a recap of their storyline. Kevin comes out. He said he was called a coward for not showing up last week, but he wonders where Shane is now that he's in the ring. He says that Shane's not a coward, he's smart, and he respects Vince McMahon. So imagine what he's going to do at Hell in a Cell to somebody he doesn't respect. This brings out Sammy. He says Kevin has lost complete control. Obviously, you snapped. He wants to talk some sense into Kevin. Snap out of all this foolishness. Kevin says he's perfectly fine. And Sammy is really out there because Kevin has outshined him once again. He says he runs down all his accomplishments, being IC champion twice, Universal champion, and US title, winning that at WrestleMania while Sammy watched in the back. And he's going to main event Hell in a Cell and make Shane regret ever bringing him to SmackDown. Owen says, what have you ever done in your life? Not just your career that has had the impact his head had with Vince's skull. Zayn says Owens takes every cheap shot he can and cuts every corner to accomplish what he wants. And he says the day will come and he will do things the right way. And then Sammy calls Kevin a giant piece of trash. Then they drop their mics like they about to fight. Daniel Bryan comes in to interrupt, and he says he doesn't know Shane's gonna be there. So what he'll do is he'll make a match for Sammy and Kevin tonight. Later on, there's going to be a Pride of Bulgaria celebration for Rusev. But the next match is Baron Corbin versus Ty Dillinger. Baron Corbin's theme song has music lyrics now. I don't know if that's better or worse. Whatever. AJ's on commentary. Baron's distracted by AJ. Ty dumps him out of the ring. They go to commercial. They come back. Blah blah blah. And then Baron wins by count out. So
Yeah, the perfect
interesting.
the perfect 10 couldn't beat the 10 and got counted out.
Oh, it's so sad. So what had happened was Ty was in control, but Baron smacked water into AJ's face at the desk. AJ was about to go after him, but Baron shoved Ty into AJ. They fell over the announce table, and that's why he didn't beat the 10 count. That's what had happened. Then Baron challenges AJ to a U.S. title match at Hell in a Cell, and he says he'll win without taking any shortcuts. And then it's made official and blah, blah, blah. Did we care? Did we not care?
Didn't
I didn't
care
care. Me either.
one bit. I don't care about anything the Baron Corbin does. I don't care about him as a staff record label or as a crew. Like like I just want him to be buried with all of that heat that he had. I just want him to be gone. But he's kind of tall and kind of got some weight on him, so Vince isn't going to completely bury him because we all know Vince has a type.
Mm-hmm. Tall, bulky, no hairline. You know. Oh
See
wait.
that was shade.
Yeah,
That
it
is
was.
that was shade,
Yeah, it
and it
was.
was unnecessary.
It was accurate though.
I mean, I
It
didn't
was
say
it
it
was
wasn't.
facts.
I didn't say it wasn't. I just said it was unnecessary.
It's the best kind when it's true. It's so nice. Anyway, Jinder Mahal has a promo. He says he may have gone too far last week with his comments. the Nakamura comments, and he said Nakamura is a worthy contender, so he wanted to compliment him this week. So then he posts photos of Nakamura, and then the Singh brothers are there laughing. But the last photo is not a photo. Instead, Nakamura is standing in front of the camera, and it looks like a photo, but then he starts moving. Then the crowd is like, "Woo!" So Nakamura is like, "Yeah, bitch, I'm here." The lights dim, music hits, it's lit. The Singh brothers attack Nakamura. He fights them off. Mahal tries to catch him off guard. Nakamura fights back. The Singh brothers attack again, but he fought them off again, and then gave Mahal a Kinshasa. Then they bail as Nakamura poses like Michael Jackson of Tokyo that he is, and that's it. Yeah.
Um, Nakamura needed to get some get back after the 3 weeks of racism that Jinder was spewing. So, so yeah, I liked it. It was good. You know, a good lead in to him. You know, getting a chance to finally put his hands on Jinder and the Singh brothers. I love how they were all coordinated too. They all almost had the same outfit on this week.
Oh, did they?
Yeah,
I didn't notice.
yeah, they had
The
on the
Sings
black.
did, or all of them did?
That Jinder had on the suit with the blue
Mm-hmm.
shirt, and the
Mm-hmm.
Singhs had on the slacks with the blue shirt.
Oh, cute. That's precious.
I love the Singh brothers. They the best.
Are they really brothers? No.
Yes, yeah, they're brothers.
Yes, but they're not
Uh-huh.
twins.
They're not twins. No,
They're just brothers.
they're just
What? They're
brothers.
actually brothers?
That's not really
Yes.
fun.
Herv, it's like Harv and Sear. How was their last name? They're like really brothers though. Yeah, they were in the Cruiserweight Classic. If you go back and watch, they're in the very first edition of the very first night of Cruiserweight Classic, and they had the big package.
Oh,
Um,
they're little.
Oh, I mean, you can't
Five
tell
foot
next.
ten and 5'9", 159 and 144. Oh, they're delicate. No wonder
that's the
Randy used
reason
to
why.
throw them around like
Yes, about to say
that.
that's the reason
Yeah.
why Brandon be tossing them to the moon.
Like a damn frisbee. Oh, that makes all the sense now. Okay. Next, the Usos versus the Hype Bros. The New Day are watching the match from the front row with popcorn. Mojo
Fish
blind,
plates.
yeah, Mogo blind tags himself in, which leads to an argument with Zach. One of the Usos, I'm assuming it's Jimmy, I don't know why, pushed Mojo into Zach, who was sitting on the top rope, and then Zach fell off the apron. It looked kind of violent. The Usos told the New Day that they belonged in the crowd with the rest of the chumps and said they would become 5-time champs at Hell in a Cell. Biggie pulls a microphone out of his popcorn bucket. New Day says they didn't want to just defend the belts at Hell in a Cell. They wanted to do it inside Hell in a Cell. And so that's lit. For
No,
some reason, it's not in the notes, but the Usos beat the Hype Bros.
yeah,
Should be fairly
top rope,
obvious.
top rope splash did old Mojo Rawley in. What do you think about Zack Ryder's beard though?
A snack. Mm-hmm.
Definitely
Mm-hmm.
beard goals if
It's
you're in the
thick.
beard gang. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. Not patchy. It's great.
I mean, it's not goals for me because I have a real beard,
You have a wonderful beard, yes, but everything's not
you know,
about you. Because you're what? You're married. And what?
it's
Zach
it's
ain't. Or is he? Everybody married. So let's find
no,
out.
who
This is
knows?
a continuation of last week's.
The tag team Hell in a Cell match should be. I think it's going to be the first time they've ever had a tag team Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah,
So this should be
it'll be the
fun.
first time.
They have a dope commercial promoting this match that is like the new Hell in the Cell trailer, and it's just
Hmm.
all their matches, the big high spots from their two previous matches, and then you just hear the holy and then it like cuts to a different scene. Then you see a big movie, you hear the crowd go holy and then it switches to another,
Hmm.
and then the last thing is like, it shows both teams, and then like the Hell in a Cell comes in front of them. Yeah, it's pretty dope commercial.
That sounds lit.
One move that they did a couple, maybe the last pay per view, last SmackDown pay per view that they haven't done since, and I really want them to do it again. It's the alley oops, where one of the Usos threw, I think it was Kofi, out of the ring, and the other one caught him in the air and did a Samoan drop onto the floor, and they call it the alley oops. and that move is so hard, and I want to see that again. And I don't know how they're gonna make that work, but we need that like that move. I want that move on 2K18.
Well,
Like the streets
plenty of
need that.
there's plenty of room around the Hell in a Cell,
Well, yeah,
so
that is
on
true.
the outside, so they can
They
do
got
it.
some room.
Yeah, they can do it. Come on, let's get to that celebration.
All right, all right. Prado Bulgaria celebration. Aiden English is there in a tux as the
Looking,
master of ceremonies. You obviously liked it.
I loved it. I love how they've been using Aiden English the last couple of weeks. He's get ever since he wrestled Randy Orton and like they let him actually have a kind of fair match with Randy and he backdropped him on the table. I've been
Mm.
like Aiden English. Yeah, I fucks with you, man.
Yeah, I do too. But he's a ginger, so of course I do. He introduces Rusev. He sings the national anthem of Bulgaria. I guess it's not like we know the difference, but that's what it's purported to be. The mayor of Rusev's hometown of Plovdiv was in the ring and honored Rusev by declaring whatever day that was, Rusev Day, and presented him with the key to the city, not the city that they're in, but Plovdiv. So then he calls Rusev a great hero, their great hero, and their protector. Rusev plays the clip of him beating up Randy Orton, says he tore the fangs out of the Viper, calls Orton a predator and a legend killer, but now Rusev is the new predator, and he destroyed the legend of the legend killer. And SmackDown is his jungle now. Then English sings another song in honor of Rusev Day when out of nowhere, Orton appears and gives Aiden and Rusev RKOs. Orton ruined Rusev Day because he ruins everything.
It's Rusev Day.
Yo,
It's
I'd still
Rusev
like it.
Day.
Still blows my mind to this day that Aiden English is a Guerrero, like through
Excuse
marriage.
me?
Yeah, he
Oh.
married Eddie's daughter, so he's
So
Eddie's
he's married
son-in-law.
too. It's great. Everybody's married.
Oh, speaking of
I can
which,
actually see him married to. Yeah, that makes sense to me.
I still don't see it. Every time he's in the ring, I'm just like, I can't believe this man is Eddie Guerrero's son-in-law. But
He's pale.
um,
He's awfully pale.
going back a little bit, Didi, for you, remember the Brie Bella Stephanie McMahon feud, and
Yes.
Stephanie brought in Daniel Bryan's alleged physical therapist and said that Daniel had an affair with her.
No, that's great.
Yeah, well, the person that played that physical therapist, that's who Zack Ryder's currently dating.
Oh, okay.
So just for you for that. Her ring name is Lana Laurel Van Ness. Laurel
Yeah,
Van
yeah,
Ness.
yeah. I saw it on
Yeah,
the Wikipedia.
yeah.
She's a nobody. No, let me stop. Let me stop. Let me stop. Because I used to
Just for
talk shit
you
about
though.
Shimmer and then they stopped following me. So let me be nice. I don't really care that they stopped following me because they don't exist. But you gotta be nice about these sort of things. Anyways, backstage, Daniel tells Sammy that Shane landed. He's on his way. He figures Shane is gonna go after Owens. And so Sammy's like, don't let him, blah, blah, blah. He wants to have Owens inside Hell in a Cell and says, can he have a match with Kevin that night? And he says he'll talk. Brian says he'll talk to Shane. Then Orton bumps into Renee Young backstage and asks her to tell Rusev that he'll see him at Hell in a Cell, and who cares? Anyway, Charlotte Flair versus Carmella. Things happen, but there's a distraction, and Charlotte wins with a big boot. Then Natty comes out, tells Charlotte she's happy that her dad's all better and all that, but now that means he can watch Charlotte fail. And then there's a flashback of John Cena, which I don't care about. Fashion Files returns next week.
About time.
I know, right? And then the under. Okay, so everybody knows that I don't write these notes, right? So these notes say that the Undertaker's dong went off. If I wrote them, I would say gong with a G, but you do you, writer, you do you. Jesus. Dong. What? What is wrong with you people? Anyway, his music comes out. I'm fooled for a while because I have horrible eyesight, but it's not The Undertaker. He hasn't come out of semi retirement. Instead, it is Dolph Ziggles. Um, Tom Phillips is like me, and he's like, "What the hell?" And Corey Graves is like, "No, no, that's Ziggles." And Phillips is like, "Oh man, because who wants to see Dolph?"
He was going down the aisle too fast. That should have been your first clue.
Yeah, I
You know
wasn't
the
really
under,
looking.
you know the
First
Undertaker
of all,
don't
he's
get to
not
the
even the
ring
right.
in 30 seconds.
Correct. And then he's not tall enough. He's
Right, he
not
needed
broad of
some
shoulder
stilts.
enough. Like the aesthetic wasn't quite there, but I was just like, hat, and I don't know what you would call it, trench coat. I was like, oh
Hmm.
no, what's he doing here? And then I think I heard Corey, and I was like, oh, and then I was like, oh yeah, that ain't him. And it's like, but that's what's funny because Ziggles has been doing this for weeks, and it still didn't occur to me that this was him. Maybe that tells you something. So, Bobby, with the best music in the business, interrupts. That's Bobby Roode. He calls Ziggles an incredible competitor, but also a hypocrite. He wants Ziggles to back up his claim as the greatest in-ring performer in history and challenges him to a match at Hell in a Cell. Ziggles tells the crowd to shut up because they're chanting yes. And he says he said that Bobby is everything that's wrong with the WWE, accepts the match, says that Bobby will rest in peace. But Root stops him in the middle and says, Hell in a Cell will be what? Glorious. Da 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 da. Yes, my body is ready. Next, your main event of the night: Kevin Owens versus Sammy of the
No, you have to
Zanes.
refer to them as with their
Oh,
real names.
Peter, and the chicken. Yeah,
Yes, thank you.
yes, Peter Griffin and the chicken. Absolutely. So they start punching each other. Kevin's is bigger, so of course Kevin does better punches. He drives Sammy's head into the barricade. Sammy comes back with a couple of clotheslines. Blah 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 blah. During the break, Sammy hit a vertical suplex on the ring apron. Then Owens nails a super kick for a 2 count. Sammy comes back with a tornado DDT, but DDTs don't get the win. Kevin counters a hell of a kick with another super kick. Sammy countered a pop up powerbomb into a blue thunder bomb. Blue thunder bombs don't get the pin, so that's a 2 count. Sammy hits a flip dive, tries for a jumping DDT through the ropes, but Owens hits him with another super kick. Then Kevin power bombs Sammy onto the edge of the ring, and that would be about it. And that is when the referee checks on Sammy and calls for the bell. Medics run down to help Sammy. Owens takes a seat on the announce table to watch. Sammy tried to refuse help. Ken walk away by himself. The medics help him to his feet. As they carry him off, Kevin springs off the table and knocks Sammy and the medics down, much like what he did to Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Then Kevin grabs a steel chair, wraps it around Sammy's head. As even more officials try to stop him, Shane's music hits. He runs down, but Owens tosses Sammy, still with the chair around his head, into Shane. Then Kevin runs through the crowd as Shane is standing on the ring apron or the ring post and dares Kevin to come back. And then Kevin blows Shane a kiss from the crowd. And that is how your SmackDown for the week ended.
Shane McMahon was about an inch or two away from having to go see a dentist himself because
I
that
know.
cheered leg almost caught him squaw in the mouth.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Do, 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 do,
I
do,
was disappointed I
do,
didn't
do,
get
do,
no
do.
Naomi
Right,
this
that's
week.
what I was. Oh my god, they didn't give her a full intro in Vegas, and then she wasn't even on TV this week. And I don't even care about what they do on Tuesday nights anymore.
Because it's Team Nebe over here all day. But this was a good fun. SmackDown's always fun. It's so fast paced and moves so quick, and the storylines always advance. So I enjoyed this episode so much. I really liked Aiden English. Like I said, I am just over the moon with how they've used him the last few weeks. They've kind of found a role for him. I hope they keep him with Rusev. Maybe make him
The
Rusev's kind
valet.
of default manager now, and they kind of run together and do some things. So
We didn't. We also didn't get an advancement of Tamina and Lana's story. this week.
If you do .com or YouTube, they basically had Lana doing the Tamina makeover in the back.
Mm.
Yeah. So, and there's a nice little Twitter exchange at like 3 in the morning between Naomi and Lana about Tamina don't need all that because she's already fierce and hot and all this stuff. So yeah, that was a very interesting thing to see this morning. That early Wednesday morning on Twitter. So at this time, just want to let everybody know that this episode of the Wrestlecast is sponsored by Amazon.com. You can go to CSPN.us, go to our webpage. While you're there, click on the banner that says support our podcast. When you click on that link, the drop down box will then show all of our sponsors. Click onto Amazon. Do your shopping as you normally would for maybe a Halloween costume, birthday gift, early Christmas shopping. This is kind of the baby shower season as well. So, anything that you need in the world, you can buy off Amazon.com. And you can also support your favorite podcast here at the CSPN at the same time. Make your purchase as you normally would through CSPN, CSPN.us, and Amazon.com. Some of your purchase comes back to us to help keep all the podcasts on the network free. So CSPN.us and Amazon.com, do it today. Next up, 205 Live. Real quick, Enzo comes out. They show the angle from Raw between Enzo and Neville. Then they show what happened to Enzo after Raw went off the air when he got beat up by Braun and the whole roster. And Didi, you'll appreciate that. After he got beat up, after they showed the clip and they came back to him live in the ring, the
Mm-hmm.
whole crowd was chanting, "You deserve it." And so Enzo kind of, thinking quick on his feet, ripped the belt off and held it up and said, "Yeah, you're right. I do deserve this title." So he kind of played with it well. Enzo states the clause about anybody who touches him will never get a title shot. And since everybody on the roster touched him, he's going to be the champion forever because nobody can get a title shot. So we get Akira Tozawa and Tony Nese. Akira Tozawa wins with the Atomic Senton Bomb. After the match, Drew Gulak, who was on commentary, has some words for Tozawa. Gulak says Tozawa is in violation of his rules to make 205 a better place. Gulak debuts his PowerPoint number 7, which is no celebrating. Gulak says he has a dream to make a Drewtopia, where ground-based athletes can thrive without celebration. Tozawa kicks Gulak to the floor, and then he does what? Celebrates. Enzo, he's limping backstage. He runs into Daivari. Daivari apologizes to him, and Enzo doesn't accept it. Daivari says that he fell victim to the mob mentality and basically is kissing up to Enzo. Daivari says last night was all Neville's idea, and Daivari still continued to try to butter him up, and he says he wants to watch Enzo's back. Enzo says that he needs to prove himself, and Daivari says, "We'll come out and be in my corner tonight with Neville," and Enzo agrees. Now we have TJP. He makes his way into the ring to face Lindsay Dorado. TJP, of course, attacked Lindsay Dorado last week, so that's the reason for the match. Well, while Lindsay Dorado is coming out making his entrance, Rich Swann just comes out of the back at 1,000 miles an hour, runs past Lindsay Dorado, slides into the ring, and starts beating the hell out of TJP. They get in there, they're brawling a little bit, gets too hot for TJP. He bails out, and he has to escape through the crowd to get away from the rich homie. Swann, please say the homie. All right. Neville arrives. He says that he's heard that since he's heard that he's been descending into madness since he lost the title. He said last night on Raw he knew exactly what he was doing and it was the best night of his life. He says he knows that he forfeited his title rematch and he doesn't care. And he says if given the chance to do it again, he'll do it again and again and again. He tells Enzo to keep one eye open because he won't allow 205 Live to disintegrate with Enzo as champion. So we get Neville versus Daivari. Neville's looking for the Hammerlock Rainmaker, but Neville counters out and locks in the rings of Neville, and he gets the win. After the match, Enzo attacks and beats down Neville with his crutch. Enzo continues the attack. He's talking trash while doing so. The refs come down, try to make the save, but Enzo keeps attacking him. They finally get Enzo to the back, and then he starts mockingly chanting towards Neville, "You deserve it." So that was 205 Live. Apparently, 205 Live had a lot of eyes on it this week, as you know, everybody was kind of interested to see what the next step was going to be. So, in one regard, moving Enzo over and giving them the title was mission accomplished, at least for 1 week. So we'll kind of see how things play out. I don't know if they're gonna have like somebody from Raw or somebody from NXT or somebody like that come in. Challenge Enzo because with this clause that he got from Kurt Angle, technically there's nobody in the division that can get a title shot because they all beat him up. So it'll be interesting to see how they get him to his first title defense. Next up, NXT. At the start of the show, Steven Regal announces a four-way for the women's title. He says that that will be taking place at Takeover Houston. He says that Kairi Sane, by winning the Mae Young Classic, is already in the match. And in 2 weeks, there will be qualifying matches to determine the three remaining contenders. Sandy comes out through the crowd. They cut a promo on the Undisputed. Eric Young says that later tonight, he's taking Adam Cole to the edge of sanity. We get Lars Sullivan versus Oni Lorcan. Lars hits a big clothesline, followed by the waistlock slam finisher, and he gets the win. After the bell, Lars appears ready to pounce on Oni again, but Danny Burch comes down. And he makes the save. We get Kayla in the locker room. She does a promo with Ruby Riott on the Iconic wanting a rematch, and why Nikki Cross came down to help her out of the blue a couple of weeks ago. We get Heavy Machinery versus Patrick Scott and Demetrius Bronson. Heavy Machinery wins with the trash compactor. Demetrius Bronson is apparently a guy who played in the NFL. He played for the Dolphins and the Falcons, they said. He has some very R-Truth looking ring gear. It looked like he was wearing a pair of dress slacks from Limbs, and he was wrestling in these joints. He's got to step his gear up. But he had a good look and pretty good height on his drop kicks. So, there may be a little something with Demetrius Bronson. He may be somebody to keep your eye on. Steven Regal sees Johnny Wrestling outside the Performance Center, and he grants Johnny Wrestling a rematch with Cien Almas in 2 weeks. Then we get Roderick Strong promo on his title match next week against Drew McIntyre. We have Liv Morgan versus Vanessa Bourne. Liv Morgan wins with a lung blower. No, real basic match. Liv Morgan showing off some skills. First time she's been back on NXT in a long time, so it's kind of good to see her. I like Vanessa Bourne. I think that she has a chance to be something. She's got a good look. She's pretty athletic, so there may be a chance for her later on. Once the women's division gets kind of reloaded and reset. Then we get a recap of the Aleister Black Velveteen Dream angle from last week, followed by Aleister Black promo from the Performance Center. Then we get a Fabian Eichner video package before Fabian Eichner wrestles Cassius Ohno. Cassius Ohno gets the hard-earned victory with the Cyclone kick. Fabian Reitner is pretty good though. He was in the Cruiserweight Classic, but he's put on some more weight, so now he's outside of the Cruiserweight division. He did this pretty cool. He did a vertical jump to the top rope, and then springboarded off into a crossbody onto Cassius Ohno. That was pretty sick. And he did a couple of other cool kind of high flying moves that looked pretty cool. So good showcase for Fabian Eichner, even though he did lose. Then Drew McIntyre, he's cutting a promo on the title match next week versus Roderick Strong. Then we get to our main event, Adam Cole versus Eric Young. Adam Cole cuts a promo before the match, basically announcing the arrival of the Undisputed, that they're here now, and they're here to take over NXT. Eric Young, once the match starts, Eric Young goes to the top, which causes Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly to distract him.
Oh.
Killian Dane and Alexander Wolf pulled him off the mat, and then Eric Young does a crossbody off the top rope into the big, large crowd of humanity on the floor. When Eric Young gets back in the ring, he gets caught with a running, leaping, shining wizard by Adam Cole. Baby! And Adam Cole gets the win in his debut. And that was your NXT. A pretty good show. The main event could have been a little bit better, but it was still good to see Adam Cole in a WWE ring. It's kind of surreal, really. But so still building up towards what this is going to lead to. Hopefully, it's going to be the British guys versus the ROH guys at some type of Survivor Series match. That's what we're all hoping for. Now we're gonna move into our final review, Lucha Underground, as this is the first night of Ultima Lucha Tres, as we got Tejano versus Famous B, and if Famous B wins, Tejano has to join Infamous Incorporated. I really like the name. What you feel about that, Didi?
Infamous Incorporated. I'm not
Yeah,
mad at it. I'm
yeah, I
not mad
like
at
that.
it at all.
I like that. I like that. Famous B tells Tejano that he couldn't wrestle him or even beat him with a broken arm. So he made some calls to Dario Cueto. Dario Cueto said that he would let him, acquire a partner to make this a true handicap match. So Famous B announces that his partner is Dr.
70
Wagner
year
Jr.
old. Yeah.
The action is getting hot and heavy. Brenda gets up on the ring apron. She plants a big old kiss on Tejano, which distracts him and allows Famous B to get the roll up with his foot on the ropes. And Famous B wins the match. And now Tejano will be joining Infamous Incorporated. Do you appreciate the heel tactics?
If you're not cheating, you're not trying. It's just the way this goes. I'm not mad at it.
All right. I love Famous B. I like that dude a lot. He trips me out whenever he's on my TV. I just think he is so entertaining.
I was very entertained by the way that Tejano threw him off the steps.
Yeah, he gave him a hip toss from about the 10th step.
It was amazing.
um, then we get our main event of the evening. Dante Fox versus Killshot. Hell of War. This is
Perfect name
basically,
for it.
yes, this is basically a 2 out of 3 falls match, but each match has a stipulation. The first match is a first blood match. The second fall will be decided by no DQ, and the third fall will be decided in an ambulance match. Whew. Mm-mm-mm.
Mm.
So, first match, first
It's
blood
a
match.
match. Mm.
Yes, it is. um, Dante Fox brings this big old piece of plate glass into the ring, and he sets it up on like 2 chairs, so he kind of makes a bridge with it between the 2 chairs. Um, he sits Killshot up on the top. They're battling up there. Killshot fights off, but Dante Fox is able to backdrop Killshot through the glass, and
Mm.
Dante Fox wins the first fall because Killshot, of course, is bleeding all about the back.
Yeah, he was.
There's like a million pieces of glass in the ring.
Yeah, there
Um,
are.
Not to mention that, like in this first match, Dante Fox does this run up off the damn ring post,
Mm.
moonsault onto Killshot on the apron.
Yeah, he did.
Then he
Mm.
did the thing where he put Killshot's head in between. Killshot is laying face down on the mat on the apron that is, underneath the bottom rope, and he puts one chair underneath his face. He puts one chair on his head, and then he goes onto the railing across from the ring
Yes, he
and jumps
did.
off and does like a spinning leg drop on him. Oh my gosh.
She was crazy.
Yes, it was just the beginning too. So
It
the
was
next
amazing.
fall is a no DQ match. Killshot looking for plunder underneath the ring, and he gets a barbed wire board. He places it in the corner. They battle for position, and Killshot hits a super kick and then a series of running kicks into the corner.
Mm.
Killshot then hits a double foot stomp, but Dante Fox kicks out at 1.
Mm.
Killshot then power bombs
Mhm.
Dante Fox into the barbed wire board. Oh my gosh. Oh, I was literally watching this standing up, just walking around my living room like,
Stressed.
oh,
Stressed.
like, oh my God. Um, Okay, Killshot then hits the Storm Cradle driver into all the glass from the first fall, and Killshot wins the second fall. So now we're tied at one fall apiece. Dante Fox's back looked like hamburger meat. Oh my gosh, just blood everywhere, puncture wounds all over the place. So now we go into our third and deciding fall, which is an ambulance match. They take the fight outside the ring and they go up to where the band plays. Fox is choking out Killshot with an amp cable. Killshot is able to grab a bottle and he breaks it over Dante Fox's head. Dante Fox then takes the Western movie fall, and
Yes.
there is this big ass glass freaking table set up in the entranceway, and Dante Fox does head over heels and bumps through this big ass glass table.
Mm.
Killshot then comes back down, picks Fox up, carries him to the ambulance, puts him in, and Killshot is a winner of the Hell of War main event contest.
That shit.
This shit was
That
amazing.
match. That match. I was in my apartment like, what the fuck am I watching? And I was like, everybody was watching NXT, and I was like, no, no, I need somebody to see this with me.
Oh my gosh. This was one of the best matches I've seen on TV in a long time. One,
Absolutely.
one of the best death match, hardcore matches I've ever seen, just
Hmm.
period. I mean, like Ric Flair said, those boys bled, sweat, and paid the price.
Did you see that sliver of like Dante's skin
Again, oh, yeah.
on the gurney? Like, oh my god.
Yeah, they filmed this like a year ago. I don't know, I would have hate to have to get the alcohol and peroxide put on my back.
I know he was probably screaming. They probably
Yeah,
had to
man.
give him some shots. Like, here, take this tequila, and then we'll work on it.
N-
Like,
Not to mention, after the first fall, they wrestled the whole second fall with that big old piece of glass just shattered everywhere. So I mean, they're getting body slammed in the
yes,
glass,
into the
and
glass. And then I was looking at it and I was like, honestly, that doesn't seem very safe. Like, I understand it's like glass, like,
sugar
TV
glass.
glass,
Yeah,
but it could still like go up
it,
in your eyeball. That was a whole lot of glass. Like, things could happen with that much glass. I was like, that is just not safe.
yeah. This I'm gonna try to find a link to this match and put it out on underneath the what we were watching because
Y'all, it is 40 minutes of magical, devilish destruction. Like, it just didn't even make sense how good the match was. Like, and
exactly.
then there's this like backstory about how they were in war together. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll go with it. And how like I guess one of them abandoned the other. Who knows? Like,
Killshot left Dante Fox for dead. Yeah.
oh, and then Dante Fox was alive and sexy. Yes. So see what I'm saying? There's backstory. It matters. Like, it's real. Like, you need to see this match.
Yes, this
You
was
have to.
this if there is a match better than this in the next three events of Ultimate Lucha, they're gonna have to put on one hell of a show.
It, yeah, that
Yeah,
match,
yeah. This
man.
this definitely will probably be in the running when we do our El Dandies for match of the year.
Mm.
Because
Oh, for
yeah, this
sure. Oh,
yeah this
definitely, because it's top five of the year.
oh yeah
Well, I don't
yeah
watch New Japan, but definitely top five of the year for if you don't watch New Japan.
yeah
Maybe even if you
this was
do.
yeah this was top five if you even if you do. I mean
See, bomb.
just the amount of violence and then the athleticism that these two
Yes,
guys were showing. I mean, not
yes,
only were they giving you hardcore blood and guts and
yes.
horror, but they were also giving you all types of moonsaults and top ropes and
Yeah.
and
That move that
just
Dante hit off the top rope when they said like he almost slipped, but he made it into something.
oh, he did the. They were both up on the rope, and he was on
Yeah,
one side, and Killshot was on the other
yeah,
side, and he jumped
yeah,
off his side over the
yeah.
Killshot side,
I ain't never
slipped a
seen no
little,
shit like that.
slipped a little bit, and still hit the top rope Spanish fly on him.
I ain't never
Oof.
seen no shit like that. I said, what? Where are
Yeah.
they practicing? Are they like in the bounce house just being like, we're just gonna do it all?
And
Like,
see, and now I have to watch Lucha
yeah, you
Underground.
do.
Yeah,
See,
man.
because
Yes, you do.
I watched it a couple times, and like the way that it's set up, and you know how they tell a story, and
Mm-hmm.
it's way more TV show than it is wrestling, and I was
Mm.
just like, man, this is kind of interesting, but I mean, I got shows to watch on Wednesday night, so you know, I, I can't keep adding wrestling to every night of my week. Um,
Save it till
but
the weekend. Watch it on Saturday morning. I was telling them when it first debuted, it gave me like it wasn't a cartoon show, but it was a Saturday morning like ninja show where it had a
okay,
storyline and then they would fight in the arena and then that meant something about medallions or some bullshit. It's very much like that, but like rated R with blood and guts and shit.
okay,
So
so
like
then I'll let me set that on the DVR now
yeah,
for me to record that.
it's definitely like a Saturday morning. Like if you're not one of those I clean up by listening to Al Green types. Yeah, it's definitely a good Saturday morning show.
Yeah, yeah. And this particular episode was really good. Like the first match probably went like what 15 minutes. They took a commercial
Mm-hmm.
break. They
Yeah.
announced the guys, and then like Dee Dee said, they have 40 minutes, and
Yep.
they did the damn thing. So um, yeah, I'm gonna try to find a link to put this out so y'all can watch it underneath the what we were watching hashtag. So you guys who don't watch Lucha Underground regularly can at least see this one match and enjoy it like me and Dee Dee did. I saw it about an hour after Dee Dee did,
Maybe this
and
will get me over.
I
and
mean,
All
if
yeah,
this don't, nothing will, because this is the one.
right, right. So at this point, we're at the end of the show. So we'll open it up to Koopa for his shout outs and thank yous.
I mean, just thank y'all for having me first and foremost. Thank the rest of fam keeping me entertained every Monday, Tuesday, and pay per view Sunday. Uh, Shout out to the 12,000 new followers that I have.
He
Uh, just
famous.
randomly, just randomly out the blue. Nah, not yet.
Oh no, you know
Uh,
what happened? You got mentioned on Jenkins and Jones, dog. That's
oh, they
exactly what
did.
happened. Yep. Mm-hmm.
They no.
You're
This
when
was
you
before. This was before they released it. Like I gained all these followers like pretty much
It
on
was just
Sunday
yeah,
it was
because
off
it
your
was
rules of the flag
viral.
tweet.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
viral real
That's what
quick.
yeah, no, I know it was off that, but it
It
came
was quick. Yeah.
so fast.
Yeah.
I went from I had 1,200 followers. I have 12,500 now. Like on Friday, I logged onto my laptop, and on Friday, like you can see, like because they have the tweet data and everything else.
Hmm.
You can see like I wasn't no interactions, my normal stuff on Friday, and then on Saturday it was kind of rose up a little bit. You want to know how many interactions I did on Sunday? Just organic interactions with my tweet.
what you got.
49 million.
Oh
Holy
Jesus.
smokes.
49 million interactions with that tweet thread.
Jesus.
So
Hey.
when I say it was sudden, I went from like 12,000 interactions to 49 million. It was bananas. And so now I got like 12,000 new followers. I don't know how to navigate this newfound fame and attention. Like this, it was just a lot, man. I was overwhelmed over the weekend. I had to detach for a little bit because there was just a lot going on, man. But shout out to everybody who's there. That number is not going to stay there. A lot of people are going to leave in the next week or so. But thank y'all for being there now. And yeah, that's it, man. I'm just living life.
All right, man. Well, we're so happy to have you here and
Yeah.
to be a first time guest on the show, and definitely we'll have you back in the future.
First time podcast ever, so broke me in real gentle like. I appreciate that.
Yeah, we try to be as easy on the first timers as we can.
You know.
Next time though, you'll have to just get your ratchet quotient up and but
Well,
really,
I kind of faded out because I don't watch too much 205 Live and NXT. But next time I'm gonna have the Raw, the SmackDown, the NXT, the 205 Live, the Lucha Underground. I'm be fully immersed on so I can you know be in the conversation the entire time.
all right. Miss Didi Jonay, thank yous and shout outs.
Shout out to Mel because Mel always gets shout outs. Shout out to Classic because he was late saying happy birthday, but he did say it, and that's all that matters. And honestly, my birthday is not over until October 1st. So there's that. Shout out to my friend Lauren. It's her birthday. Shout out to my friend Inka. She got engaged. She popping. Who else? Shout out to my brother and his fiance because I guess we're getting closer to bridesmaids dresses. So that's a win. And shout out to everybody who watched. Oh, shout out to Ash
Yeah.
because
Oh
of
yeah, we gotta give her her
her.
props.
Yeah, because of her, I have found out that General Hospital is on demand. So that means
And
I can find out about double Jasons and all that.
and she won
Yes.
Who You Got.
Oh
First timer.
yeah, I'm a hater.
Beat
Yeah,
us
yeah.
beat
She
us at our game.
won. She won. Who you got? Donald was in second place. I was in third place because I had faith in people who I should not have had faith in. But what can you do?
Hey, speaking of soaps, what soap was that T-Boz was on
Days of Our
this week?
Lives.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the NBC soaps. I don't know why she's on there though. Like, what
She
is
needs a check.
like? No, I mean I know that, but like, is it like is she full time? Is she part time? Is it just like a 6 week contract? Like, what are we doing? Why? Why are you there and Chili's not there? Like, she still get Dallas Austin child support? Like, why both of y'all ain't on the show then? Like, what? I got questions. Why she got her same hair? Why y'all didn't give her a wig? Like, what? Is that what we look like in jail? We got the
They gave
blonde
they gave
bangs,
they
roots
gave her
all
the double
done.
swoop too.
I can't. I got questions. I need answers.
Well, if
But
they did all that, y'all might not have been able to recognize that it was T-Boz, and that probably would defeat the point.
I mean, but it's not like they announced it. It was like Twitter was like, "Is that T-Boz?" Like it was a secret. Like I don't understand.
You got anything else?
No. Oh yeah, shout out to you. Shout out to Samuel. Shout out to Greg making them monies. I think that's it.
All
Yeah.
right. Well, we'll give a shout out to Mel and Siege as they have launched the new and improved version of the Good and Terrible Show. So you guys go check them out on their new podcasting platform over there that they're kicking off. So please support them as much as you did when they were on CSPN. Give a shout out to Classic. Give a shout out to Sam and Greg. Give a shout out to my Cast a Strong Style co host, JPK Moto. We actually put a little wager on our Who You Got
Mm.
that we played last week. So now I've got to come up with a cool nickname that I can call her for the whole show since I won.
Oh, you
Um,
won that one. Oh, there
of,
you go.
of course I won that one. Barry Horowitz pat on the back. Shout out to Jay doing big things. Shout out to Kisa. Shout out to Jupiter Julep, Queen Mel Mindy, and the whole globe who is always there to support us every week. Shout out to everybody who shows up SmackDown Matters and the Rawcast. Shout out to CJ. Shout out to Brandon, Darth Kudo. Shout out to Dwayne, the LibreCon. Shout out to Mo. Chill Life, Chill Gang out there. Shout out to Finn. Shout out to Corbin, man. Just shout out to all of y'all that rocks with the Wrestlecast and continues to listen and interact on Twitter. Again, interact on Twitter. Follow us at the Wrestlecast. Follow me at Don Delarente. Follow Didi at Didi Jonay. Give us 5 stars if you guys listen through iTunes. Continue to rate and review the show so we can get more listeners and more people to interact and continue to grow. We're coming up on a 3 year um, anniversary here, coming up in a few shows. So, um, you know, that's a big milestone coming up. So, very proud of that. And our consistency of, knock on wood, so far not missing a week in 3 years. So, a lot of podcasts can't say that, and I'm extremely proud that we can say that here on the WrestleCast. So, that being said, for our special guest, Koopa Kente, who you can follow on Twitter at Koopa_Kente, my
Nah, I'm
Smack
full.
my
Nah,
SmackDown
no.
Matters correspondent, Miss Didi Jonay. I'm Don Delarente, and this has been episode 153 of the WrestleCast. Please stay tuned for the parting promo.